Okay, Nathan. For the next episode, I put a lot of research on this. I looked up every single movie from 1920 to 2000. Yeah. I'm thinking of like an 80 to 100 years of film. Well versed. I've written quotes down. All
right. But I'm thinking we just do Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
For this set.
Sorry, Neves, but your episode research isn't enough. Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 101. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you.
And today's episode is going to be about literally me, a.k.a.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
We've come here, folks, to go right into the memes. Everyone's talked about him at some point in their life.
Ryan Gosling is like one of the most memed actors.
Recently,
I
would say.
I guess it's like a TikTok era thing.
Yeah. Due to the roles he's done, just his persona, him just as a person. I don't know. That's just my assumptions. I've seen him on TikTok. I've seen him on YouTube. You know, I've seen that infamous one where him and Margot Robbie. He's just like, "What's a meme?"
Yeah,
and she's just like, "Okay, shut up, Ryan."
But I think, deep more than the memes, I think he's got a very interesting filmography.
Yes,
and I like the way that you've broken this down into Ryan Gosling's eras.
Yeah, so I did a lot of heavy research on this. All right, I looked over every single film that Ryan Gosling has done. I did not include his child performances on the Mickey Mouse Club because let's be honest, I think you kind of already know what that's like for child actors.
He was a child star.
Like, we're not gonna, if we talk about Kurt Russell at some point, we're not gonna go into his child's, like, when he was a kid, movies. We're gonna go into fucking the roles that he's known for. So
just dope that he was a child star because he's a Canadian child star.
Yeah, from London, Ontario,
which is a little bit more rare, eh? I feel like Canadian actors usually it takes them longer to break into.
Not always.
Yeah, maybe not.
I would say Michael Cera, because Michael Cera's from Brampton.
Yeah.
He started as a child actor on Arrested Development. Yep.
Yeah, he was pretty young on that show. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, so it depends on the actor and just the role that they got when they were a kid, and if that role was transcended them into other roles when they were adults. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I did my eras, my Ryan Gosling eras. I made four eras.
Let's start with the first era.
Okay, so the first era, a lot of actors have gone through this. I'm not going to list all of them, but they've gone through the rom-com era.
Hell yeah.
Ryan Gosling's a good-looking dude. In his 20s, in his early 20s, he was in a lot of these rom-coms. Most notably, The Notebook.
Yeah, So I like a lot of these actually.
Yeah.
The Notebook is one of the best rom-coms I think ever made because it's has this World War II backdrop and has beautiful shots and actually an intriguing love story.
Very emotional ending.
It's incredibly emotional.
Yeah.
And shout out to my mom. My mom's always like, "When are you guys going to talk about some romantic movies?" So
we're going to.
Here it is, Mom. This is it. Notebook, great movie.
Notebook, great movie. Ryan Gosling was in a lot of great rom-coms. Another great rom-com that he was in that a lot of people, I remember talking about a lot, was Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love is underrated.
Yeah. Not a lot of people talk about that anymore.
It's underrated. Mm-hmm. I think the chemistry with him and
Emma Stone,
but also Steve Carell.
Steve Carell, yes.
They have great chemistry. Mm-hmm. Obviously, him and Emma Stone have great chemistry, and we see that later with La La Land that just won everything.
Exactly.
So
yeah. But those are the two films that I would say in terms of his filmography during that era were his best.
Those are his iconic ones. But early in his career, looking at his filmography the other day, I realized that he did a couple of super small roles in pretty recognizable movies. He's in Remember the Titans, the sports movie where Denzel's the coach. Mm-hmm. He plays a slightly racist guy who likes country music.
Yeah.
And then kind of comes around.
Does he do the Southern accent in that movie?
I don't think he does a Southern accent.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he does Southern in that movie.
Because sometimes actors do that when they're playing that type of role. It's like, hey, Sean, what's the hell? It's like I'm glad Ryan didn't do that.
But he's got a lot of those I was surprised to see that he's got like a lot of credits in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember him from the early 2000s.
No.
Almost ever.
Yeah, I would say because of that, he was in all these small roles that it kind of led up to these two films as his best work during that time. So
yeah, some people may think he kind of came out of nowhere, but I mean, he's been in stuff since he was a kid.
Yeah, like in like the 90s, 2000s, like he's been working.
Yeah.
So no matter what year, like he's done something. So yeah, leading up from the rom-com era, I would say the indie era. This is the era where he was in a lot of like lower budget films that were like big in terms of word of mouth.
My favorite era.
Yeah,
the indie era.
I'll talk about these because he worked with Nicholas Winding Refn a lot, who is a very famous director who worked on a bunch of films with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
So the ones that I'm going to be talking about is Drive and Only God Forgives. And then the third film that he worked on with his wife, I think they were married at the time, Eva Mendes.
You blew my mind.
You didn't know that.
Because I was like,
yeah.
So I was like, before we record, I got to watch the movie with him and the chick from Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, you said, yeah, you know.
I'm like, what's her name?
She's the one from Too Fast, Too Furious.
What's her name? I'm like, Eva Mendes?
Yeah.
You were like, you mean his wife? I'm like, what? They're married? He was supposed to be with Paul Walker. Damn.
Yeah, I know. But the film I'm talking about is The Place Beyond the Pines.
Which I watched.
I watched
this week.
What'd you think of that movie?
This movie's really you haven't seen this one, right?
I'm not.
I could definitely say I recommend this film.
Okay.
It does something cool with this premise. I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to spoil it because it's one of those movies you're better to go into without knowing and because you haven't seen it. Yeah. But I'll spoil one little part of it. Basically, the movie starts off being with Ryan Gosling as the main character.
Yeah.
And transitions into Bradley Cooper being the main character for the second half of the film. And they kind of just switch.
Huh.
So it's interesting because you get invested in this and then they switch to Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
But it works.
Okay.
But it works. Not only does it work, it's an incredible Bradley Cooper performance as well as Ryan Gosling performance. I think it's an underrated Bradley Cooper performance.
Nice. I like when films do that. Psycho did that where it's like you think you're going to follow this one character and then like halfway in it's like, no, we're doing this one then. And it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was a version of that definitely worked for me. And like I had some issues with maybe some of the dialogue and stuff, but overall it's a movie that I could definitely recommend to people.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely going to check that one out. That's a Gosling film I want to see.
And Drive, I did a rewatch of Drive this week.
Yeah, you talked about that.
And man, I first saw this movie in high school and I was like, literally me. Oh my God.
You got the scorpion jacket, Nathan. You were the one walking the fucking...
And I gotta say, this time, while I still love the movie, and I think it's one of Ryan Gosling's best, some of the stuff didn't work for me as much.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is basically Taxi Driver.
At times, yeah.
It feels very Taxi Driver without a compelling character as Travis Bickle. Like he's no Travis Bickle in that movie. He's just a quiet, like, troubled guy.
Yeah.
Which he's great at playing.
I would say Drive and Taxi Driver have one thing in common in terms of popularity. It's these two films that deal with isolation, depression from these characters, and it goes into very dark territories with that subject matter. And just like dude bros like completely misinterpret the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Like you see Taxi Driver and they're like, oh yeah, you're talking to me, guy. Yeah, yeah. And then Drive's like, oh yeah, scorpion jacket. He drives. He's cool. It's just like, no, these characters aren't supposed to be illustrated as cool.
Yeah, but also like another parallel to Taxi Driver is like, Travis Bickle, all that stuff that happens in that movie is kind of because he wants to help out this 12-year-old prostitute.
Yeah, Jodie
right?
Foster, yeah.
Exactly. And in Drive, it's his neighbor.
Yeah.
So it's a very similar story. There's a lot of parallels there. And it's a cool modern take on a story like that. But I think it lacks some of the I don't know, some of the writing didn't hit as much on this watch, but I still love the movie.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I might do a rewatch on Drive. I remember loving the movie. I mean,
saw your 2017 Letterboxd review on Drive.
Oh, 2017.
Because I went to review it.
No.
And then I saw that you had a 2017 review.
Oh,
you
no.
gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah, I
think.
did. Yeah.
I gave it. I think I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Nathan, 2017 me might be a little different than now.
Which was my situation.
Yeah.
I probably saw it in 2017 as well, and I was like literally me. If I had Letterboxd at that time, I would probably have the same review as you.
Dude, that's the one issue about Letterboxd is people get to read my 2016 reviews. I'm like, buddy, I'm 16.
Yeah, you've been on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Which is really cool though, because you get to like look back at your diary and like see all the films you've logged. Like, what's your count at right now? Do you know?
Almost 1,700.
Holy shit!
I think I've reached
1,700 films logged.
Yeah. I've been too many fucking reviews. I mean, some of them I'm genuine about, and then others I'm just like, yeah, shit.
Oh yeah.
I just say 2 words, yeah, shit, half a star. I've come to that point, but yeah, no, I might give Drive a rewatch. Who knows? Maybe I'll give it half a star and be like, nah, it's actually shit.
I think you'll definitely
I'll like it still. Yeah,
you'll like it again. It's got really cool music.
I love the fucking music.
Oh,
in that movie.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like even just the driving scenes, like it's great.
Good stuff.
It's great. But I would definitely say watch Place Beyond the Pines before you do a rewatch of Drive. I think that's worth it.
Fair enough.
Let's move on to the mid-budget era.
So this is
the Ryan Gosling career.
Yeah, it's a little different from the indie era. The indie era, the budgets were like 5 million, 8 million, around that range, you know, like not, it's still expensive, but for film standards, it's very low budget.
It's pretty low, yeah.
But the mid-budget era, I would say, is closer to like 50 million, 60 million. So we got like The Big Short, we got La La Land, we got The Nice Guys. Damn. I got to confess something, Nathan. I still have La La Land on my watch list. Motherfucking movie's been on my watch list since 2017. You saw La La Land? Yeah. See,
Christian, you saw La La
Even
Land?
Christian saw La La Land.
Damn.
Motherfucker. But I seen the other two.
Yeah. I personally, I actually haven't seen La La Land either.
Wow.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, like, I don't know. The musical thing, like, doesn't really appeal to me, which is kind of why it stayed on my watch list for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I heard it's really good.
But I understand it's won everything, and I've heard people with similar opinions who would almost never watch a musical and love La La Land.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone being great because they have previous chemistry in Crazy Stupid Love that really works. So if they're just building on that, I'd love to see it. Like, eventually, it's a movie I'm going to see. I'm sure I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those.
Because I remember hearing about it. Damien Chazelle was directing it, and I was like, Damien Chazelle, he directed Whiplash. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this.
And I love everything else Damien Chazelle has done.
Yeah,
like literally everything.
Yeah,
Whiplash is so good. Babylon is a criminally underrated film.
I love that movie.
If I had to name one film that I think is really underrated of the past couple of years, Babylon is my #1 pick. Yeah. I really, really love that film.
It gave off like Boogie Nights vibes.
It gives off Boogie Nights.
I fucking love
that. It's modern Boogie Nights.
Yeah, I love that.
And it just, I guess the marketing campaign kind of fell flat.
Yeah. It sucked.
It came out at a weird time, I guess.
Christmas, yeah.
Right? It didn't really work, but it's a shame.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Damien Chazelle keeps getting the funding he needs to make these movies, because Babylon was definitely a much more expensive film.
Much more expensive
in comparison to the past stuff.
La La Land and everything. Yeah,
which I mean, yeah, even like Whiplash was like such a low budget.
Yeah.
I just hope he keeps getting money.
I'm gonna talk about underrated films because nobody talks about this Ryan Gosling film enough. The Nice Guys. Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, buddy cop film in the 70s.
Yeah, he played Ryan Gosling kind of plays this like stupid cop, and Russell Crowe is
yes, I love it so much because the humor works so well.
It does.
It's the guy who Shane Black. I would say Shane Black is a great writer. He's made a lot of great films. Like he wrote Lethal Weapon. He wrote parts of the original Predator movie.
He wrote Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, man. Shane Black. Shane Black wrote Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, I believe.
That's dope.
He did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great fucking movie. And then he also did The Nice Guys. And I'm just like, Yes, man. I don't know. To me, it's my favorite Shane Black film. Ryan Gosling's character is amazing in it. It's not like any other role he was doing up until that point.
I agree.
And
it showed his range.
Yeah.
But I really love Russell Crowe kind of more in that movie.
Russell Crowe works really well, but I think he works really well in contrast to Gosling's character.
It's a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
So with a buddy cop movie, it has to work. The chemistry between the two is everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it works so well. The 70s aesthetic fucking works. The only weird thing about Shane Black films is like most of them are all set during Christmas. I don't know why he does that, but I don't care.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Like he directed Iron Man 3 and it's like, oh yeah, that's also set in Christmas. I'm like, what?
Bro just loves Christmas.
He says he likes it,
Hey,
but
that's just his favorite season.
Yeah, mid-budget era of Gosling was great, but
Big Short, we didn't. Can we
talk
about Big Short?
Go for it, man.
Big Short's an awesome movie.
It is.
It's an awesome. The way that movie is edited, it takes huge chances. I think, like it's different, right?
Yeah.
And the way they do the cutaways.
Yeah.
The way they explain the crash of the housing market and the financial crisis of 2008 has never been better explained to me in school or otherwise.
Yeah, I remember like hearing a bunch of people talk about it. I was like, let me check it out. And what I was more impressed of was, just that, the editing, because that's the power of you learning all this information. All of this information is a lot to take in. How do you do it? And it's like these cutaway gags could have been like super cheap in humor, super cheap in so many ways, and it's not.
It could have been like Family Guy-esque.
That's what I was thinking.
Which I know you don't like Family Guy. Personally, I like Family Guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not really your show.
No,
but
it wasn't like that in this movie.
No, it definitely worked.
Yes,
they took a chance with the cutaways, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked extremely well. I love Steve Carell in Big Short. And I really, really love Christian Bale in Big Short. I think it's an underrated performance from Christian Bale.
That's a big cast, too.
Oh, huge cast.
Big cast. And of course, like we said, Gosling. He's fucking great in that movie.
He's great in that, too, yeah.
All right. Going to the last era of Gosling. Who knows? Maybe there'll be future eras of Gosling in the future. But this is what we are currently in. It's called the big budget, baby.
Big budget, baby.
2 big budget films from Gosling that I think he was great in both, Blade Runner 2049 and Barbie.
Hell yeah.
He was great in both.
Blade Runner 2049. He kind of plays a similar character like from Place Beyond the Pines and Drive. He's good at playing this troubled, quiet guy, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a role made for Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And in Blade Runner with a huge budget, it works extremely well.
Yeah.
That film just works.
I was so surprised when they announced it because it's like, well, the first one didn't make any money.
Right.
So it's like, how the fuck are they making it this big of a scale? Because it was a big budget, the way they did it. And I saw it in theaters with my family. My family fell asleep. I saw
Damn.
Yeah, they weren't a fan of it. It's definitely, if you don't know Blade Runner, it's a slow burn sci-fi
You kind of
film.
have to know.
Yeah.
You have to watch the original, I think. And I personally don't love the original.
Whoa. Okay. That's my response. Okay.
You really like the first Blade Runner?
I love it. I think Rutger Hauer's character, Roy Batty, is one of the best written sci-fi characters, period.
Maybe I gotta see it again, but
I do think that there are some issues of the first Blade. Like, I don't think Harrison Ford's character is as interesting as everyone says he is.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
But that's not the point of why I like the first one. The point of why I like the first one was it deals with the subject matter of, like, what makes these androids different from humans, from their emotional perspective, from, like, so many other things in terms of life, imagining things. That's why I love Roy Batty, his search for it.
The premise and the subject matter, there's a lot good in there.
Yeah.
Especially for the time. It's like, I understand the importance of the film. It's a revolutionary sci-fi film. I just, man, maybe it's my problem. I don't love Harrison Ford too much. Like, I think.
Oh, yeah. You've told me about that.
I've told you that. I'm not the biggest Harrison Ford fan in general. So the first Blade Runner never really resonated with me as a classic.
Yeah.
I definitely much rather watch this one, Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. I'd say I think I like Blade Runner 2049 a little bit more because it also deals with this character of Gosling being this, like, they're giving off the chosen one vibes for him when it wasn't. And I love that. I love when they try to change it up a bit and go into a lot more, like, deeper subject matter with that concept.
Yeah, they do go deep with that. With like that, they put the memories in the childhood memories in his head.
Yeah,
and that stuff works really well for me.
Yeah.
Like I really like that.
really, really good stuff. Also, I love the soundtracks of both movies.
Oh, fantastic!
Like, Jesus, like I always like the first Blade Runner film, especially that soundtrack.
It's great.
Fucking
It's
revolutionized
for
so
me,
much.
The absolute highlight of that film. My favorite part of that film is the soundtrack, I think.
Yeah, but what I liked about Blade Runner 2049 to end things off is like Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford's chemistry. I think it works. I think it works really well for the story, and it could have easily fell flat, but I don't know. Harrison Ford in that film seems like he gives a shit compared to other roles he did recently.
I completely agree. Harrison Ford has come back to a lot of franchises.
Yeah.
And it seems like he kind of gives a shit the most in this one, right?
He likes Indiana Jones more, but I feel like Blade Runner, he did a better performance.
I agree.
I don't know. That's just...
I think maybe now it's just harder for him to play a realistic indie for me.
Yeah.
Just because he is so much older. Mm-hmm. In Blade Runner 2049, it works. He doesn't feel... like, what's this old ass Harrison Ford doing in this movie?
No,
it didn't feel like that to me.
No, his character was more interesting in this than it was the first movie.
Yeah,
and I love that. We did talk about this on an episode. Obviously, we covered Barbie, but what were your...
We talked about it, and we'll talk about it again because people loved it. Like, all our Barbie videos did incredible.
Dude, that trailer reaction, the episode itself,
everything did really well. People are so excited about this movie. It's good to see that people loved it as much as we did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It hit #1. It's the highest grossing film now. And well deserved, I would say. And
since we reviewed it, it's been the highest grossing film.
Yeah, it beat out Super Mario.
Beat out Super Mario. That's crazy.
Yeah,
because when you really break it down, an adult Barbie movie, beat out one of the biggest known franchises in the whole world. Everybody knows Super Mario.
Oh yeah. But Barbie,
which is a little girl's toy.
Yeah.
You alienate the little girl audience kind of. You make a movie for adults. Sure, kids might enjoy it.
Yeah.
You make the movie for adults. You make the jokes for adults. And by sheer word of mouth and fantastic promotion, like the Barbie press run,
amazing, is
some of the best press I've ever seen for a film.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of films that can take notes from what Barbie did with their press.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that at the end of the day, with all the press, marketing, and everything like that, it's great. But the film itself was amazing.
Yeah.
On its own.
And that's what I think really made it the highest grossing film was the word of mouth for Barbie.
Yep.
Because everybody after seeing it was like, no, trust me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And like we said before, performances in that film were amazing. Like everyone was fucking solid. I knew your highlight you said was Gosling.
Loved Gosling.
He's great. Film. He's fucking great. He really does like embody that character, and
he gives a character like Ken, which before the movie, what's Ken's I don't know anything about.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really think of it that way.
He's just like literally was made to just be Barbie's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing you know about Ken.
Yeah.
And he gives it this amazing personality.
Oh, yeah.
And makes him so likable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of Ryan Gosling's best performances, which is crazy to say.
And that's what I mean, too, is just like you can see each era being different, but like his acting ability was there. It was always there. He put in his all. And that's what you don't realize from a lot of actors nowadays is just like, are they putting like that much effort into each role? And sometimes fucking A, they are. Just go back to their older roles. And Ryan Gosling is a clear example of that, I would say. His energy and his charisma and his dedication in like The Notebook, which came out almost 20 fucking years ago, I would say is still the same type of energy that he's giving in Barbie.
There is a Ryan Gosling movie coming up that I think was already... Can you search it up real quick?
Absolutely. Of course, Christian's giving us the 5 fingers of death.
5 fingers of death.
I think that's I'm coining that.
Yeah, that's great. 5 fingers of death.
What is The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
Former stuntman springs back into action when the star of a new movie goes missing. So this is the same director that directed Bullet Train.
Okay.
I fuck with that.
I fuck with Bullet Train.
You know what I just found out too? That director, He was Brad Pitt's stuntman.
What?
Yeah, he's just now a director now.
No way.
It's like a Keanu Reeves, John Wick situation where the director of John Wick was also Keanu Reeves' stunt double, and now he's directing action movies.
That's wild.
I think we need more stunt performers directing action movies, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if anybody's qualified,
yeah.
it's the guys who have been actually doing the stunts in the action movies, right?
Hell yeah, man.
That's cool. Yeah, what is there a release date on that? Is that a next year release?
Next year, March.
And is that going to theaters or is that a streamer movie?
It's Universal. I'm assuming it's going to be theater then. Universal usually releases their movies.
I mean, I love the idea, just the premise alone of Ryan Gosling as a stunt guy in the movies. Like, I just think I could already tell it's going to work, I think.
Yeah.
Like him as a character. I don't know if the movie's going to be good. I don't know enough about it. But I think it's going to work. That sounds like a role that's made for him.
All right. We're going to do the 4 questions of Gosling. We got the 4 eras of Gosling. We got the 4 questions of yeah. Okay, let's do this. Favorite Gosling era. What's yours?
Favorite Gosling era is the indie era.
Hell yeah, man.
It's the literally me era. And I love it. Drive is dope. Place Beyond the Pines is definitely a movie that I watched for the first time this week, but I'll definitely see again in my life.
Nice.
Like, it's a super rewatchable film that tries something different that I really appreciated. Yeah. The indie era of Ryan Gosling is his best for me.
Indie era. I have a soft spot for mid-budget. Because Nice Guys.
Damn, mid-budget is great too. Big Short.
But listen, we pick our favorites like mid-budget and the indie era. That doesn't mean rom-com and big budget don't have its strengths. Each era has beautiful strengths in them.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah.
Of course, yeah. If I had to list my Gosling top 3, I think I pick a little bit from kind of each era.
Hell yeah, man. That's good. Okay, so favorite Gosling movie. What would be your favorite?
It's Drive.
Hell yeah.
It's still Drive.
Still Drive, man.
It's still Drive. Even though my rating might have went slightly down from 2017, it's still high. It's still a movie about cars, which I love. Any movie about cars, I love it. Like, a good movie about cars is rare.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. I love the score. I love his performance. It's his best.
Hell yeah. All right. Least favorite Gosling movie. I think I know what it is.
Oh, wait. What's your favorite Gosling movie?
Oh, my favorite. Oh, I guess I'll do favorite Gosling movie. Ooh, Drive.
Drive.
I like Drive. Okay, least favorite Gosling movie.
From this list? Because
I'm saying in general.
Gosling, I think, he's got like, I was looking at his IMDb, he's got like more than 20 credits.
Yeah.
So he's definitely has a lot of movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah, same.
Especially in the early 2000s, like ones that he wasn't the star of. Mm-hmm. Lots of movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But the worst one for me on this list is, man.
You don't have to do this list either. You can find out. I'll give you my answer. Tell you what, because we covered this on the podcast a while ago. It's The Gray Man. The Gray Man shit.
How did I forget about Gray Man?
Gray Man shit.
Oh, I know how I forget about Gray Man.
Because it's forgettable. There we go. Ooh, we got you. No more Gray Man sequels for you.
Because it's a forgettable Netflix movie.
Exactly. If you could put Gosling in a movie he wasn't in, what would it be, Nathan? Pick your pick.
Oh shit.
Pick your pick. Pick your movie.
How old is Ryan Gosling when Matrix came out? Maybe
19.
Bang! I cast him in Matrix.
Okay.
19-year-old Ryan Gosling.
19-year-old Neo.
Yeah.
You know what? Because we're in the superhero craze, imagine him as Ghost Rider.
Oh, okay.
Switch him out with Nick Cage.
He hasn't been in the MCU or DCU, has he?
Nope.
That's interesting. He hasn't done this. He hasn't fallen for the superhero.
Nope. He ain't doing that. Maybe in the future.
He will in the future. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe the Barbie money. He's just like, wait a minute, I could be in one of these Marvel films
like this all the time.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll end it off there. Thank you for watching this episode of the Real Talk Podcast. Let us know your favorite Ryan Gosling movie in the comments. We're interested in knowing. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.